Okay. Sorry it's so late. Today's not going to be a big day. I've got to shoot for work early tomorrow, and I've been kind of stressing about it, so I got to prep some stuff for it, and it's already late, so I'm not going to stress myself out tonight. I just wanted to get some programming done. I'm going to open this JAWS reference. Which JAWS sprites, where is this? It's in downloads. So today's gonna be a super short day. Probably not gonna get too much logic in, but I'm gonna try to copy these egg sprites. Let's just for now say yeah, whatever. We need this to be a couple more pixels wide. It's our canvas size. Here, let's give ourselves 4 more pixels. Nope. Canvas size. Okay. So this is our yellow. I'm gonna paste our yellow. And then remember, we're gonna need to build in a little buffer for the viewport. So I'm gonna place these one at a time. You know, if that's the first one, then here's the second. So we're going to leave a 1 pixel buffer there. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay. So there's our egg animation. We're gonna change our canvas size again. We want to be 1 pixel shorter. Before we do that, I'm just gonna scoot everything down 1 pixel, but we need to be, what, 4 pixels shorter? Okay, we just need to, I don't want these to get cut off when we change that, so. Let's try that. Canvas size. Lower. And we're perfect. So yeah, we need the buffer for the animation so we don't accidentally draw the pixels next to it. And then we need transparent background with our wand tool. Sweet. So there's our egg animation. And how do you deselect? Command D. Okay. So it looks like we've got six pixels wide by 7 pixels tall. So 6 by 7 is our egg. Write this down. It's 7 tall, yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna save as I want to put, where do I save my game art documents or something? Yeah, we'll just save it here. Save it as egg animation, and then export PNG into our Git pics, and it'll be egg animation. No, it'll be egg atlas. PNG. Okay. Now before I close that, I check and make sure it's in there. Egg atlas, it is. Okay. Cool. I do like the really bright green egg. We might change that. I just changed the yellow in the... Well, actually the egg is the same color as our vulture, so maybe whatever our vulture color is, we put our egg to be. Let me see our vulture. Yeah. We're gonna put this lime green in instead of the ostrich color, because that's actually the color it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to be the vulture color. So this vulture atlas. So we're gonna eye for eyedropper, pick for the green color, and then color in our proper green. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Save. Actually, yeah, okay, never mind. File export. Egg atlas. Yeah, we should overwrite this. Double check that our egg atlas is still looks the old color. Let me delete this. Trash, export, egg atlas. Now the correct color. Okay. So I do think we're gonna need to, if our player collides with a vulture and our player's X is higher, that means we need to turn our vulture into an instantiation of an egg and then give it new physics. So yeah, I feel like that's gonna be kind of tricky, but if we look at our classes, all we have to do to make a class is give it a class and curly braces. Well, since we have this class, this Matthias Richter made this class inheritance code for Love 2D, which I really don't understand, but I don't need to. He did the work to put classes in Lua, and that makes it so that all we have to do is say platform gets class with curly braces, and then we'll be able to use it as a sort of class. So I really don't get what this does, but it seems to work. So, you know, that's the thing where it's like, are you really ever coding anything from scratch, from real scratch, where it's like, you know, at some point you gotta abstract away these little details where it's like, I'm not trying to write a game engine right now, I'm just trying to render a picture to the screen, you know. That's something I've been trying to get better about letting go of that needing to understand everything. But we need to include an egg atlas. So love.graphics.newImage. The new image is a path that is in source pix egg atlas .png. Okay. So now egg atlas is a drawable as far as Love 2D is concerned. And then let us make a new class. So here in our source, yeah, here in our source, we're going to say a new file. How do we do this? Here, new file. How do we do this? New file. File, save as, source. And this is going to be egg.lua. Okay. Now egg inherits class attributes, I guess we would call it. And then there is 3 main functions. Like any video game, right? Any video game is just 3 things. You register person input, you update game items, and then you render updated items to screen. Like that's the whole game loop. So we have a egg init function. We have an egg update. We have an egg render. I feel like I'm missing something in these, but let me see. Yeah, we have an init that takes in parameters. Render, okay. Well, we don't exactly know what the function our eggs are. I mean, we know we need an x and a y. We know we need a width and a height. That's about it though, right? So here I'm assigning the parameter passed in to be equal to the member of the same name. Then we have to give new physics to the egg here, which I'm gonna have to analyze the game a bit more to figure out. Because if you like, for example, like Goomba Stomp, one of these guys, they lose their initial DX, whatever the DX was, and it kind of just changes it to, I don't know, I'll have to do some testing, but the egg just kind of bounces on the floor. Our dependencies, we need to require our new class file, which is egg. Let me put 6 wide, 7 tall. Shoot, guys, I'm not sure I'm gonna be getting much more than this done today. So yeah, we need to trigger vulture to explode into egg, which means in our vulture class we have exploded that is set to false. So as soon as we collide our player's higher than theirs, we need to trigger this exploded to true, and then if exploded is true, we need to change our vulture's XY width and a height into becoming an egg. Is that right? think that's right. It's like I think we need to have something where we say self dot. Oh, how do we do this? What I'm trying to say is when we use the code egg, when we use our egg class, we're going to be saving that egg class into a variable, and that variable needs to be constrained to this vulture instantiation. So I think we need to have a variable set to self, because we need to check for collision and stuff. I guess that's right. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something like, if not exploded, do all this. Otherwise exploded, therefore give our current X, change our size into an egg size and shape, spawn an egg instantiation at our X and Y. Actually, it's going to be a little different than that. So yeah, because the height difference of an egg versus our vulture, and it draws stuff from the top left, if we just draw the egg based on our X and Y position, egg will become the top left of our vulture, but we want it to be the center. We want the egg to pop out of the center of where that ostrich is. Oh man, okay. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while to figure this out. Then we gotta worry about the render order for the explosion to be on top of the egg too. Then we gotta worry about triggering the egg hatching. And that gets even more confusing because the egg hatching turns into a pilot, which then spawns a vulture running in to come get it, which is really interesting. And that's going to be tough to implement. Oh man. Okay. Well. Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. And figure out if hitboxes on solo vulture after egg hatch, because we have to possibly do something weird for that. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to implement much more right now. I wonder if the game even works like it used to. Cool. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to figure out this whole egg situation. It's gonna be tough, but we've got the sprites for it. We made the sprites for it, and we made the class for it. So now we just have to figure out what the offset is for the X and Y positions upon a exploded getting triggered to true on a vulture. Then we need to figure out the logic of how the egg how the egg's physics is different than the vulture physics. We need to update that appropriately. And then we did here figure out the hatching function and the tier system for the villains to come back. And then we need to figure out the AI for the different tier systems. And then, we need to make sure every iteration of our player and enemy collision is working correctly. If our y's are equal, we need to bounce, revert our dx, and then we need to make sure we're dying correctly and the vulture's dying correctly and turning into an egg. Every possible, collision detection. And do some extensive testing for that to make sure. And then we got to figure out the flap problem, right? For our vulture, we need to make our vulture's jumps less dy affecting so that we can flap more than once, a couple times, so we can have their wings flapping and have it more game accurate to the original. Added egg sprites and egg class. Okay. So yeah, sorry this was not a very big episode, but hoping tomorrow we can get more stuff done. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.